Hey there, all you fabulous and phenomenal A4J divas. This is your girl Jill of Jill Lane Trail, founder of Detour Movement Inc. And I'm just glad to be back on behind the camera. It seems like it's been forever. As many of you know, we just came off the Fabulous I Am Women's Extravaganza, which was amazing. It was thebomb.com. See, I got my little Fabulous I Am t-shirt on, sporting it, and we had a great time. But yesterday I posted on Facebook and I said, hey, world, I know we've been MIA in the YouTube world. What questions do you have that Trail and I could do some videos and respond to? And we were overwhelmed in a good way with questions. So I'm going to read from my iPad mini one question that we got. And the question was from Sister Delza, if I'm saying that right. And she had a couple of questions, but I'm just going to answer one right now, which is, how do you fight the temptation to settle when you know God has more for you in a relationship? And I was like, wow, that is a good question. It's a question I never heard before, but is a good question. Like, how do you resist the temptation to settle for less than God's best for you? I applaud you for asking that question. You know, that's great. And what I'm going to say is there's really two things. So we look at the symptoms of things, but we really like to look at what's driving those symptoms to be there. So if you have a feeling of, or a temptation, or feeling sometimes you want to settle, there's something that's driving that. And I totally personally can relate to that, because for a long portion of my journey, almost every guy I dated, maybe except for the last 3 guys I dated prior to my husband, 2 or 3 guys I dated prior to my husband, I was constantly settling for guys I had no business ever being around, much less in a relationship with. So I believe 2 things drive that. One is a scarcity mindset, having a mindset that, oh my God, there's no men available, all the men are married, and just kind of thinking that there's a lack. So that's a mindset thing that kind of makes us feel like we have no choice. Just imagining like when you go to the store and you see these shoes you want and you learn that those are the last pair of shoes in your size, you just be like, oh my God, if I don't get these shoes, I'm never going to get it, and these are the only ones available and I have to get it today, even though it's 2 times my budget or whatever the situation is. And sometimes it causes us to act in that moment even though it really wasn't the right thing, or maybe even sometimes the shoe may be too small and you still want to get it. So, because again, you're thinking it's a scarcity mindset, not realizing that how many other pair of shoes is it in America? And now with online, you can get it internationally. So we have to have a shift there. So we'll talk about that in a second. The second thing that really drives us to settle is feeling that we just don't deserve better. Some common things I hear women say is, oh, I have 2, 3 children, sometimes even from different fathers. Maybe feeling like, oh, I only have a high school diploma, I only have my associate's degree, or maybe even with the looks, a woman's external appearance, sometimes thinking, oh my God, well, there's not many guys that approach me, or guys really just don't like me. So these insecurities that we have sometimes make us think, and that's nothing but the enemy penetrating our mind, telling us that we don't deserve better, which is a little high. And when we're talking about don't deserve better, you decide what that better is. No woman deserves to be cheated on. No woman deserves to be abused. No woman deserves to be lied to. No woman deserves to be disrespected. So I don't care how you look. Okay, if we want to talk about scale of 1 to 10, I'll give you a 2. You do not deserve to be mistreated. So you deserve God's best for you. And we have to constantly be reminded of that. So now we know the 2 main drivers that causes us to settle, which is that scarcity mindset, and also a mindset thinking, I just really don't deserve better. Look at my situation. Who am I to deserve more than this? You're a lot. You're a child of the Most High God, for starters. Okay, let's just get that clear. So 2 things that we can combat when we're talking about that is when we talk about scarcity mindset, then one thing I'm going to tell you is get more exposure. You're feeling like you're scarcity because maybe in the community that you live in, the church that you attend, or whatever places you're going right now, you're not being exposed to any guys, and you're feeling like that there's only 1 or 2 guys available. The devil is a lie. And even if it's only 1, you only need 1 guy anyway. So you just have to have faith that God will, provide your needs, and it's not really need, a desire for you to have that man in your life. So you got to have that confidence in God, have trust in God that it will work out. And when you have that, it will come across. And men will know that, oh my gosh, she's coming across like she knows that she deserves better. Oh my gosh, she knows that there's somebody out there for her, and she's really not going to settle for less. But it's that demon of fear that makes us think that is not true. And the second thing is, how can you combat I don't deserve better? You have to stop undervaluing yourself. I don't care how you look. I don't care what degree you have. All that doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, you deserve somebody to respect you. You deserve somebody who's going to treat you right. You deserve somebody who's going to love you and all of this, you know. And there's no reason. I don't care if you got 5 kids from 5 different men. It does not matter. You still deserve someone to treat you with respect. You still deserve a God-fearing man. Who said you didn't? I don't know where these lies come from, but we need to dispel them, because these are the things that really causes us and pull us away. So I'm hoping in here you're getting the answer to your question, is that the way that you are able to stop or avoid the temptation of settling is, for one, change your mindset. There is not a scarcity of men in America, period. Diversify, get more exposure. You know, sometimes be willing to step outside the box. You don't have to necessarily date a guy who's 6'3", African American with the whatever master's degree. You know, don't get caught up on those type of dynamics. Don't focus on the personality, focus on the character. Don't focus so much on the physical, focus on the heart. You know, and when you do that, you'll have a better quality guy that you're able to attract in your life, and that you won't have to settle. I will also say, pray. You definitely have to pray so you can build that relationship with God and ask God to help you to trust Him, help you to have that faith, help you to have that confidence. And then lastly but not least, I'm going to say, if you have anything in the area, which I'm sure I believe every woman has some level of insecurities, okay? I haven't found one that does not. So stop undervaluing yourself. Write down some affirmations of what God says about you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, so many things that God says about you. He said, I know the plans I think towards you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, for a future and a hope. So if He ain't going to do that, why He ain't going to set you up with somebody who's going to be less than what is God's best for you? He's not going to yoke you with somebody that's not following Him. Okay, so I hope this is helping you. Please take action. Just don't listen to this video like I get off, my time is up. But just don't listen to this video. Write down, get some index cards, write down some things. You know, remind yourself that you're beautiful. Remind yourself that you're a woman of God. Remind yourself that you deserve God's best. Remind yourself that you're an intelligent woman, that you, all these great things about yourself. Everything, and in any lifetime I ever told you, state the opposite and start to believe that about yourself. So that's really my time. I'm going to go. But I am going to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are going to be busy on YouTube the next several weeks, producing a lot of videos, and we want to make sure that you are in the know, okay? And also go ahead over to your social media channels, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and go ahead and share a link to this video to hook up your other girlfriends so they don't be settling, because ain't nobody got time for that, okay? And also, please leave your 2 cents below and give us your comment and feedback. What do you think? How have you avoided settling in the past? Or how have you gotten in a situation where you settled for a guy, and maybe how did you get out of it? We would love to hear from you. And also, you can also check out our blog, where there's a lot of other juicy information at jillandtrail.com. That's JILLAND trail TREAL.com. Until next time, I love you so much. God loves you best. Be blessed.